Day one of changing my life. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm Keita. I've spent years chasing goals, but recently I looked up and didn't recognize the life that I had built. So I'm pressing reset on my routines, my mindset, and what fulfillment even looks like for me. I'll be documenting the real work, the food, the travel, the wins, the setbacks, all of it. And I'm taking you with me because starting over might be hard, but it's definitely not impossible. First, let's rewind a bit to understand how I got here. I'm 29 and I've lived in New York for more than a decade. In that time, I finished my undergrad degree, built a community of loving friends, and had my heart broken a few times. I've also engaged in an undisclosed number of shenanigans with my friends. But that's a story for another time. Stories. But since graduating, I've really only focused on the work. I've always been destined for the soft girl lifestyle, but unfortunately was not born into one, so I worked my ass off through high school and college to get there. Then I got my first big girl job, and what a rude awakening that was. Let's just say it wasn't a great fit. But your girl had bills to pay, so I kept showing up even through the pandemic. Fast forward to 2024, I realized that I have unintentionally made my job my personality. And it's not normal for your job to become your personality. If you're sitting here watching this and you have a hard time identifying your hobbies or the things you like to do outside of work, let me take this moment to shake you. Get a hobby. I had stopped cooking, I wasn't hanging out with my friends, I literally couldn't point to a single thing of substance in my life outside of my job. Yeah, in hindsight it does give depression, but I was in therapy, don't worry. Now, realizing that is one thing, but actually doing something about it is a different ballgame entirely. A year ago, I threw myself into a hunt for hobbies because, well, that's a solid step to regaining your sense of self, right? I tried dodgeball for a bit. I started ceramics. I was writing in my spare time. I was doing all of this to remind myself just how good it felt to use that side of my brain, flexing those creative muscles. But in all that, I still hadn't figured out a purpose. If you're like me, then it's really hard to make progress if you don't have a defined goal. I hadn't settled on any one thing that made sense for me just yet. With that in mind, I got to work. Let's get this done. I sifted through all of my old notes, my journals, all of these things that held a wide variety of different passion projects I had started over the years and never seen through. I reorganized my space so my routines made more sense, and I reviewed hours and hours and hours of research on life and career transitions, all to consider what still resonated with the person that I want to be. So after all that, I have my end goal. So what? You've seen it all over the internet. Change your life in 6 months. Plenty of people telling you to do this workout to lose weight or eat this meal plan because it's clean. A lot of noise if you ask me. I had to lock in and figure out what I even wanted to change in my life. I landed on 3 key areas: my health, my community, and my career. As much as I don't want this to be a fitness journey, I'd be lying if I didn't say it wasn't part of this plan. That said, I'm looking at this really holistically because health is more than just a number on the scale or how you look. It's also mental. This part of my journey is focused on building physical strength and feeling more mentally grounded. Endurance will require a fitness and nutrition plan, but nothing crazy. Yes, I have planned workouts for the next few weeks. No, I'm not going to suddenly become a gym rat because I'm realistic. To ground myself in a more healthy mental space, I'm going to be completing the Artist Way. I've tried it a few times before and really never made it past the first few weeks, but this time I am determined to make it through all 12 weeks. Part of the Artist Way is taking yourself on weekly artist days, which I actually did today, so this really is day one of my journey. It also includes morning pages and a whole list of other things, but that's a whole other topic in itself, and that's not the focus of this video. For me, what this means is I'll be spending a lot more time focusing on reflection, on what I like, what I want, and just generally understanding me. If there's one thing I have learned over the past few years, it's that community is genuinely one of the most important things you can have for maintaining balance and good mental health. If you've ever felt the warmth of a life celebration surrounded by people who want to see you win, then you know what I mean. My decade in New York has fostered genuine friendship with some people who are not only hot, but also kind. They've made me laugh, sat with me when I cried, traveled the world with me, and so much more. But at some point, I started to turn into a recluse. I was missing events, canceling plans, not even making plans if it was a work day. I went months without speaking to some of my closest friends that I haven't spent a long time with. I was burnt out, but I also recognized that I wasn't being a great friend. My goal is to rebuild some of those connections and maybe make some new ones. I saved my job for last because, being honest with myself, this is definitely the biggest part of this transition. I'm also not quite ready to share it with you yet. Partially because I have to keep some things under wraps until they're ready for the public. Partially because I am still figuring out exactly what that looks like. When the time comes, you'll know plenty, don't worry. Just hold on to that thought for now. So if you're still here, something in this video resonated with you. Maybe you're interested in a transition yourself. Maybe this video popped up on your For You page and I intrigued you enough that you're still here. Maybe you're just obsessed with all this B-roll I captured of New York City. I did sweat my ass off to get it, so thank you for appreciating it if that's the reason. Let me know in the comments, I'm curious what kept you here. Regardless, thanks for watching this far. Come back to the next one because my story doesn't stop here. I'm gonna keep digging because self is wealth and I'm on the hunt for the jackpot, baby. I don't even know if anyone's gonna watch this.